Why? Because I can.
What's up guys, Adrian here, and today I'm going to show you how to play Katarina on the mid lane with the best build runes. I provide you useful tips. I have around 1 million points with Katarina and my highest rank achieved was Diamond 1 with her. Also, I do coaching, so if you are interested you can contact me on Discord by sending me a direct message in the video description. Alright, and let's start with her skill explanation. For those who do not know, starting with Q, this is a point and click ability that deals magic damage and it rebounces to 2 nearby targets. The key difference about the Q is the fact that if there are nearby targets, it bounces faster. And look, you should pay attention to your dagger position. Now Mel got closer and I just E. And if there's only one target, like this for example, you see the rebound is slower, but you have to know that your Q always appears behind the target, and this is important for your combo because you're gonna know every time it will appear in the right place. Okay, so as for your first combo, you should mainly focus on doing just enough to trigger electrocute, and usually you wanna back, unless you've got an opportunity to do more. And at level 2 the best way to do that is to QE and auto attack. And past level 3 you wanna do EWQ combo, and then you E. So as for the kill right after I flashed, that was an auto attack reset, because your E can actually do that, so you do auto and E quickly, and then auto again, and that way you maximize the damage. And here's an example on how you can make some smart trades without taking damage in return, or little amount of it. You just E to the minion and Q and RB while going back immediately. If there's a good opportunity, you should be doing EWQ. Okay, and you can potentially go in again with E after the reset. It's okay, you'll get this. With E you blink into an RB target ally or dagger. If it's an RB you deal magic damage. We go in with Lichbane first. As you can see, this is the range and you can choose anywhere around the target where to land. This is important where you land because you can avoid some ability that way, so try to think about it instead of just randomly clicking E at the enemy. And there's one key difference: you should be pressing E directly at the enemy champion, because if you just E around you're gonna blink into the dagger, of course, but you're gonna lose that E damage. Whereas if you E the champion directly, you're gonna deal damage with E and also the dagger. And you can provide the dagger that you can E on from your passive by using your Q or your W. This is the passive. That dagger, you can appear anywhere around it. You can also directly E at the dagger. If Katarina picks up a dagger, she uses it to slash through all nearby enemies, dealing magic damage. And your passive also triggers on-hit effects, so for example, with Lichbane, when you E onto the dagger, it counts as if you have done an auto attack at the enemy. And the first part of your passive is the fact that whenever an enemy champion dies that Katarina has damaged within the last 3 seconds, you reduce the cooldown of all of your abilities by 15 seconds. So without thinking much about it, you can expect to have a free reset on your Q, W and D, because these abilities have the cooldown lower than 15 seconds. And in order to reset your ult, you're gonna need to have 3 takedowns. Also, when you pick up a dagger, you reduce the cooldown of E, and putting some points into E reduces the cooldown itself. But the biggest difference for your combos comes as you level up at certain levels. So it's level 1, 6, 11 and 16, and your combos get really smooth at level 11. So at level 1 you reduce the E cooldown by 78%, level 6 it's 84%, level 11 90%, and finally 96% at level 16. Alright, so we're gonna max Q first, and As for the use of Q on the lane, it depends on the type of enemy you have. If you have to focus on just last hitting, because there's a lot of poke, you wanna Q minions more as last hits. But if an enemy is actually closer to the minion wave, to his own minions, and there are only 2 nearby, then it's a good idea to press Q, and then it will just rebound, so you can last hit and damage your enemy at the same time, which is ideal. We should also be looking for roams. So since there's Nidalee around, I'm gonna try to roam now. Oh, actually there's vision, so never mind. And as for W, you toss a dagger into the air and you leave your passive on the ground. You also gain 50% movement speed, which can help you in escaping or catching up to an enemy. It's also worth using when you're about to get hit by some ability. And I'm gonna complete boots now because maybe I roam, who knows. It's important to push the wave first. As for ultimate, Katarina becomes a flurry of blades. You can only rapidly attack 3 nearest enemy champions. And she also applies healing reduction for 3 seconds on a target. You cannot use that ultimate right now, you can only use that if an enemy is nearby, which means if you're about to face check bush and you have no vision, if your ultimate lights up, that's when you know someone is nearby. Okay, he's dead. He even flashed.
Intriguing.
Enemy killing spree.
It's good to just press your W to have potential reset immediately. Actually, yeah. I've got her. When doing this combo, you have to actually E the second time as soon as your enemy is leaving your ultimate range. So while Mel wasn't leaving my ult, I didn't press E. Oh, he's trying again. I'm low HP, but we can try. Nice. So we should be looking for these small fights. Katarina usually can catch up to enemies faster than the enemy mid laner. And we're gonna afford Lich Bane already. So now that you know the way her abilities work and the fact that her ultimate lasts for 2.5 seconds, I'm gonna talk about the combos. So your standard engage combo should be E, W, Q, Alt and then E. Alright, so the standard engage combo when you unlock your ultimate is EW, Q, ultimate and D. The reason why you wanna do the EW is because first you use your E so it goes on cooldown, but you leave W beneath yourself, which grants you a reset immediately. Then you Q to make the dagger appear behind an enemy. And at the same time you wanna Q first before ult, because if you did it backwards, the Q would just interrupt your ultimate and it wouldn't be worth it. And look, I leave the dagger on the ground now, and I'm checking if Mel comes closer, then I just go in. Nice, like Katarina has a lot of damage. Another time when you just wanna engage at someone, let's say an ADC goes mid and farms, you just E, you pick up the dagger and you immediately engage in. So I'm sure I'll be able to show you later this game, because this combo happens pretty much every game. And we've got Magi stacked. But for now I go for Shadow Flame. Lichbane and Shadow Flame are her core items. Okay, so I pushed and I'm immediately going to roam. Okay, I do the rest. So I'm not using W yet because I don't know if I'm gonna have to use it. Okay, and he's dead. When pressing E, make sure not to spam it at the enemy champion because you're gonna lose a free reset. It has to be calculated, so you just press E once and then you E onto another target. Yeah, I got to wait. Also, your passive range is a bit wider than it shows. Like you could see on the lane when I just left W on the ground and I waited for my enemy to get a bit closer, I still was able to slash through. Lichbane is also good because it grants extra movement speed. Okay, she's dead. But it's not the target I wanted. I'm actually unlikely to reach them if Zoe has exhaust. So I'm not going for it. Also, you can hop through walls. Like this. You don't even have to move. I'm gonna show you on a different wall. Yeah, it's also possible. So you wanna E at the edge of your passive indicator, like this, see? And you can easily escape. If you wanna push quickly, you just do Q first, then you E into the wave and you leave W as well, so you do double passive. Make sure not to be the one to engage because you wanna value your health bar first. Oh, see, that's what I'm talking about with the range. And I didn't know it because I knew I had enough damage. I wanna finish Shadow Flame first before going Magi. So far I'm not dying, which is good. I'd suggest always trying to be close for potential fight, even when split pushing makes sense sometimes to gain more CS. You just wanna impact the game more. So here I was looking if I can just E onto the minion and catch Zoe, but she was aware. I'm gonna follow up and we've got Caitlyn. Uh-oh. You see, I had my Q immediately behind the target because of the cast. I had my passive, that's what I mean, after the Q. So I had enough damage, but just in case I had even more damage from the passive. You can also Q through Grump, for example, when it spawns and it's just gonna appear on the other side of the wall.
Never play fair.
You can also E onto such objects. And without ultimate, you just do EWQ, so it's a shortened combo compared to the standard version. Also remember about the reset. Oh well, that wasn't worth it. I got excited, but actually I have to value my shutdown and Zoe got this. Well, okay, happens. So I'm gonna need an hourglass next. And this is why I didn't finish Magi, because you never know. At least they have a lot of squishies. Zoe is really annoying for Kata.
I've made my choice.
So before going in, you have to make sure the fight is actually worth it. Usually it should lead to some important objective, unless you can really catch them. Because, for example, Nidali went there, she got caught. If I would just join this fight, that will make sense. So you just leave the dagger like this and then you wait for something to happen. If an enemy gets closer, you just take advantage. And by the way, look, when you're going from base, you can also E to minions to reach a bit faster. We have to prepare for dragon.
I've made my choice.
Sometimes if you're unsure, you can leave W, face check a bit, and then you E, returning onto your passive.
I like it. My prey now.
I got him. Also, if you wonder why in that fight against Kha'Zix my Q didn't cast, it's because if you begin casting your Q but you lose vision, like for example someone enters bush that you don't have warded, or in this case Kha'Zix used stealth, then the ability cancels.
Why? Because I can.
Okay, Nidali can heal me, like Kha'Zix is dead. This should be free. And you should also watch out in a fight if an RB keeps an ability which can interrupt your ultimate. And usually you wanna just let RBs engage a fight or your allies and then just clean up, following up. Make sure that RBs do not waste their important abilities at you unless they're keeping that. So it makes it easier for your teammates to do well in a team fight like this. Well, I'm gonna get an hourglass. It really makes sense, this game. So usually you would just engage immediately at Bell, but I knew that Zoe would cast her Q, so I waited out even if I didn't participate in that. Got it. Like, Caitlyn trusted her traps, but I actually have a lot of room to land somewhere else with it. Totally avoiding it. Okay, need to watch out because Kha'Zix respawned, he's somewhere there. Just go back. Alright, that was a bit longer than I thought. Missed by 1 second, but still got her.
Why? Because I can.
I can stay because as long as I do not go in, I can still deal a lot of damage. They just focus someone else. But it's kind of pointless to go mid now. Yeah, just go back really. Okay, I can finish Magi. Why not? Also, you should really focus mid-late game. One mistake can cost you the game. Okay, he engaged at Tariq, what?
Never.
So, that is the combo. You return a bit to your own passive to be able to reset while still being in range to just return with your E onto the Q that you have landed. That's how it works.
I've made my choice.
Okay, just go for dragon. Like, they're overstayed like on Aram, but it's totally pointless. Just prepare for objective.
Ready for trouble.
Wait, he ulted. Yeah, I'm not going in. Our priority is dragon.
Because
I don't have to make this pointless fight. Unless I'm gonna have a good opening. Oh, they surrendered. Okay, so that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this and that you learned something on how to play Katarina. If you enjoyed, you can like and subscribe, and if you need coaching, you can contact me on Discord by sending me a direct message. The link is in the video description. Also, let me know if you got some questions about Katarina or if you got a request on some other champion guide. Thanks for watching and see you next time.